So I can see Mohit, Nachiket, Venkatesh, Abhishek, Dhaneshwar, Pranay, Vaishnav, Bhushan, Pranav, Pushpaj, Devikinandan, and Aditya. So thank you so much all for coming here and deciding to spend your time on learning the art of anchoring. Yeah, that is today's subject, and I'll be just briefly touching on some points and giving you the ins and outs of how to be an effective anchor and all those things. Okay, and we had promised that it will be of 30 minutes, but I have some more things to tell you, more practical things. So I thought if we can cover till 45 minutes, if we can stretch it to 45 minutes, will it be all right for all of you? Not more than 45 minutes, I assure.
Yes, sir.
No
Yes, sir.
problem, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, I'll just yeah, thank you so much for all of your good, nice, healthy way of learning anything you all have, and that's why you are in core committee and doing so many things. So yeah, so actually I wanted to show you this PPT that I have made, and there are lots of points I have made in this PPT. So here it goes. So I hope you are all able to see my screen. Please
Yes,
say
sir.
yes if you
Yes,
are
sir.
okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Can anybody read the title, what's written there?
The art of anchoring online event.
Correct, correct. So the art of anchoring. So this 45 minutes what I'm going to talk is for all of yours, building a particular skill set, and that will be in the area of anchoring or presentation. So I'll be mostly focusing on the anchoring part, how to anchor in any kind of event. But as now we are locked down, Corona is there, so we may not have more of a live event or an offline event or a physical event where we go on stage. There is hundreds of people sitting in front of us. So yeah, that we may not have right now. So that's why I have chosen to focus on the online event aspect of anchoring. But also I have mentioned many tips and tricks how to do nice anchoring and offline events also, so that maybe also be useful. But the principle remains same, just the means are different in online and offline. I hope all of you are with me. Yes, all of you are enthusiastic and pumped up to learn something new. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
One, two, three,
Yes.
okay, three, four. I want all of you. Yes. Yes, Vaishnav is saying
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes,
Great,
sir.
great.
Yes,
That's
sir.
thank you. That's what we need. Okay, so let's get moving. So first question that may come is that, sir, why anchoring? Why I need to have this art of anchoring? Why not in something anything else? Or in the first place, why to learn anchoring? So that can be an important question to put our first steps in the process of learning anchoring. So yeah, anchoring or hosting, you may say it, many terms are there. So yeah, why anchoring? Because anchoring is such a wonderful art and such a wonderful skill, which is now and will forever will be in demand. So anchoring is one of the best skills that you can have and that you can add into your skill set. So as of all of you might have seen also some anchors online or offline in your life, in many of the live events that you may have attended. So there you may have seen many anchors that because of their presence and their charisma and their way of speech, they can attract the whole audience towards them. So isn't that a wonderful skill? Yeah, so to get attraction and attention of so many people on yourself is a difficult task. It's a responsible task, and to manage and to go with the flow of the event for the entire event, it may be of 1 hour, 2 hours. So it's not easy task, and it requires a huge amount of skills. And anchoring, it channelizes all the skills required for that. So yeah, and this, yeah, as I was saying, if one learns anchoring, he will learn the art of attracting audiences. That is very important in nowadays. So if a person may have a lot of knowledge, but if he is not able to present it, so then it's very difficult. I have seen in my personal life also, people are so much knowledgeable. They just they have the concepts very clear, but they're not able to present it. So yeah, that eats half of our work if you are not able to present. Yeah, so that's very, very important. And ace in your presentation. If you are a good anchor, you surely will give good presentations. May it be your academic presentations or any kind of presentations you may want to give. So yeah, that's why anchoring. So I have built up the foundation now, that why you should learn. So from this, it should be very, very clear that if sir, I know anchoring, I'll be in benefit. So that will be a really, really wonderful opportunity for any individual to learn this wonderful art of anchoring. Okay, let's move ahead. Now, yes, sir, we know that what is why anchoring is important. Now, who is anchor? What is the definition of an anchor or a host or MC? So both the things you are seeing in the bracket, capital M, capital C, EMCEE. So both are MC. What is MC? MC is master of ceremonies. So that is like the official host of any ceremony or an event going on. So who is an anchor really? So what the definition that is given in the dictionary is that a person or a thing that provides stability or confidence in an otherwise uncertain situation. So that is an anchor. अगर anchor नहीं होगा तो वो situation जरूर कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ होगा सर. So the anchor is the person or a thing that provides stability to that situation. It gives the overall guidance to that situation. So okay, so now this so by looking at this picture, we come to know about anchor. So like many of you, if you have heard this word anchor before, so this picture relates it more than anchor hosting the event. So we have all seen that anchor. It's used to, yeah, it's used for in ships mostly. Oh yeah, Mohit is sharing something. Okay, Mohit, I'll just read it out. I know, sir, that experience in 12th we made project, and on the day of presentation I was sick and I was having the part of anchoring. Since I was sick, so my friend he have the knowledge of project, but he couldn't present it properly, so last competition. Yeah, that happens. That happens with so many people. I'll share with you some practical experiences also about the students of HGGS only, my friends. So I'll share that in last. So yeah, now let's focus here. So as I was saying, this anchor, if you see this image, you just in your head that things pops up when you hear the word anchor. So this image will come first. So then, so what is the responsibility of an anchor? So anchor एक ऐसा आदमी है जो audience और speaker को connect करता है. So he's a bridge. He's a bridge that connects audience, a speaker, or a performer. So that is the role of an audience of an anchor, and that's a very, very important role to play, mind you, because if the audience is not able to relate or connect with the speaker or the performer, then it's nasty. It's going to be nasty, because then the whole thing will go into a mess. So yeah, the anchor's responsibility is very, very important in an event. So, and anchor is one of the key element to the success of any event. So if you want an event to be successful, it should be appreciated by the audience, then the anchor has to perform his job very well. If the anchor is not doing his job well, then there are chances that the event will surely go down. So yeah, the key element of anchoring is is that the anchor should connect. There should be a feeling of connection from the audience side to the anchor side, and then that should be later on connected to the speaker or the performer. So yeah, and also anchoring, as I was telling, it's not an easy job. It's a pretty difficult job. So because it's a blend of many arts, it's not just one art. So like while anchoring, I'll say that while anchor you have to modulate your voice. Sometimes you may have to sing, and sometimes in live events some anchors have to dance also, and sometimes an anchor has to have a sense of humor, a good sense of humor. He should be a witty person, and he should have the ability to make jokes, make people laugh, make people um, like seek someone in reverence, and they should feel the connect with the anchor. So it's a blend of many arts. It's not just one art that someone is very having a very good command over his speech, and then he'll become anchor. He can modulate his voice very nicely, and he has he can speak fluent English, and then he'll be a good anchor. No, there are lots and lots of other factors that make a good anchor. So it's a blend of many arts, and one will have to practice hard on each and every factor, each and every aspect. Then he can be called as a good anchor. So yeah, so now on, just don't worry about all these things. I'm just telling you the factors which are involved in this thing. So what you have to do, that part will come later, of course. That part we'll also see, but now I'm just giving you the gist of everything that I have seen, and yeah, around this task of anchoring any event, be it be offline or online. Yes, are all with me? I just want to know.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
Yes,
sir.
So
sir.
thank you. Let's
Yes,
move ahead.
sir.
Now you have yeah. So now we saw that why anchoring is important, and what to do in anchoring. What is the responsibility of an anchor? But the anchor has to suit the event also. Like suppose there will be many varieties of events that may happen in any institution, like in our college also there are so many varieties of events. There are cultural events, sometimes there are formal events, there are award shows and whatnot. So according to the event, the anchor has to adapt. So I will request some of you, if you can read it out, the things that are written here. Yes, so there can be many events to host. Yes, can anybody read this out?
Yes, sir. Social, formal,
So may I?
informal.
Yeah, Mohit, you can go on. Who was that next one? You
uh,
can read.
and
Yeah, Mohit, please.
Okay. So there can be many events to host: social, formal, informal, culture, webinar, inor inaugurations, award show, festival, celebration, and many more.
Yeah, so there can be many events. So as you saw, there are social events and award functions and whatnot. So from this, what we have to understand that each event requires a particular way of speech, a way of tone, and it has to be changed accordingly. If you are not susceptible to the change, if you are rigid, if you are speaking like you speak in a formal event, so good morning, good evening, and, yeah, whatever is there. So good morning, myself Bhargav Hattekar. So we are meeting here. So like that, if you are speaking in a party, in a festival, so that will not create the enthusiasm or the hype that you need to build up for the climax of the event, or to call someone on the stage, a very, very special personality. So if you are not into that change that is required from event to event, then that's a total flop. What we can do? Okay, now how what things we have to adapt, what things we have to change, that let's see that. Okay, now yeah, anchor has to adapt speech as per the event, as I said. So yeah, it's very, very important that we learn this adaptability, we have this quality. So he has to change the way of speech, way of dress. So like if a formal event is there, it is preferred that you wear a formal attire, like a pant, shirt, jacket, like that. If there is a traditional event, you wear traditional dress, as simple as that. If you are wearing a very formal dress on a traditional event, it doesn't suit, it doesn't suit. Yeah. And yeah, anchoring in pairs with a script, there can be a partner also in anchoring. So you might be having some script, so you have to know what is your part when you are going to speak, when there is going to be a pause, when your partner is going to speak and when he'll stop, and you both are looking at each other. "हाँ, अभी क्या बोलना है?" So not like that, right? You have to be at on spot, you have to be spot on your timing. So that's very, very important when you're working in pairs. So there are lots and lots of varieties with which anchoring can be done, and there might be some script, there might be some things that you may not have spoken. You might have to like quote a shloka of Sanskrit. Uh, so in that way, there are lots and lots of things that one has to learn while he's doing this art of anchoring. And for a responsive audience, you may have to anchor, or for without a responsive audience like that. Suppose now I am talking with you, especially in an online event. There is a chance that you may have to speak, and you are not expecting any replies from the audience. But in a uh, in a formal informal event, with a live audience, so you may expect some replies when you're there. Like if you say good morning to everyone, so you expect that everyone from the audience is also saying you good morning. So in online, we don't expect that. Of course, you put it on chat and other things, but in offline events, physical events, you expect that. So there can be a response, and according to the response, you have to act. So yeah, so that's a very tricky job. Yeah. So according to the response, you have to say the further things. If there is a good response, then the task becomes easier. If there is a very bad response, then you have to struggle hard to maintain the audience's interest. So yeah, so these things are about the adaptability, that there are many ways, and not just these. I have mentioned very few here, so there can be many varieties of things that may come up. So yeah, I'm just pointing out the essential ones here. Okay, moving ahead. So now you have seen all these things. So you might be asking, sir, now what I have to do as in the part of as a part of core committee of Voice Club, what I have to learn from all this, and what we will do, will be doing in the coming future, is that we'll be hosting online events, aren't we? So in that case, we will be having some protocols and some standards through which we'll be anchoring or hosting an event. So yeah, in that case, like suppose there is today was a very nice webinar by Dr. Ashish Gupta sir. I hope you all attended that. It was really interesting. So now, yeah, I was introducing sir, and at the end, I said thanks to you and sir. So in that case, this was the formal, like this was the structure of the, or the flow of the event was that I come, I welcome all of you, I welcome the speaker, I talk about the significance of the event, then I talk about the speaker, I give introduction to the speaker, I hand it over to the speaker speaks for the duration, then I thank. So yeah, this will be the basic thing, but in some events there might be some changes, but this is a general rough timeline that we will follow. Okay, so now, and this all things, now I am going to tell you, going to tell you 5 points. So in this 5 points, whatever the 5 points are, those are applicable to any of the event, may it be offline, online, like that. So now I'll tell you from this five, the first one, the beginning, as you can see on your screen. And it's damn important, very important. The beginning, the start of any event, when a host comes onto the stage or he holds the mic, it's very important that he has a solid beginning. So a solid beginning is very important. So why, sir, you may ask, the solid beginning is important? Yeah, have a solid beginning. So the most important part of your anchoring is the beginning. So because you make your impression in the beginning, if your first few minutes are fantastic, then the audience will judge that I have to listen him or not. So the audience will judge you in the first few minutes only, that okay, I want to listen from him or I don't want to listen. So that's the psychophysical nature. So that they will decide that if I want to listen or I don't want to listen. So that's why in the first few minutes only you have to make a great impact on the audience. So the beginning is very important. So if you spoil the beginning, there is a high chance that the whole program will go astray. Then you have to do a lot of hard work to take it back on the track. So beginning is very important. So yeah, a strong start with greetings. So yeah, so usually we can start with greetings by greeting the audience. Good evening to everybody. I myself, Bhargav Hattikar, I welcome all of you to this wonderful event, and today we'll be discussing like that. So you can start strong with like that, or somebody would like to quote a shloka or quote famous line or like that. So this is kind of beginning that everybody looks for. So they are astounded in the beginning only. Oh, who is this? Wow, such a nice opening. So like that, so you have to astonish the audience. So but in a formal event, that can be more sober. So you may not go and blast off in front of such an audience. So according to the audience, you have to adapt the beginning also, but it should be solid. If you start stammering, um, my name is Bhargav, and I am from third year of computer. So like that, if you are saying, then that's not good. So that will that that will instead of attracting, the audience will withdraw their interest from you. So that's very important. So addressing the event is also important. So why the audience has come? They were they free and they were not having anything to do? That's why they came. No, there is a significance to that particular event, and we have to address that also. Like to today's event was on scientific units of chanting. So like that, if yeah, like in that case, we can address that all of us are chanting from so much time, and that's why we may have that question that, sir, is there any scientific benefit for that? So like that. So yeah, there can be many cases where you will have to address the event, the importance of the event, why we are having this event, like that. Okay. And significance of the day or the event. So significance of the day can be like, if we are having a program on 15th of August, so you can speak briefly on the day of the day, the Independence Day, or the 26th January, the Republic Day, like that. So yeah, so there can be many examples for this. I'll not go into details. I hope you have understood this part. Yes, yes, everyone understood this
Yes,
part.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
great. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is the part of beginning. So again, I'll reiterate that beginning is very important. If there's a good beginning, and if in between also there are some mistakes, but the beginning is rock solid, then your anchoring or the program or the event holds on. So it doesn't fall apart. So that's the importance of a good beginning, as it's told by Plato, that the beginning is the most important part of the work. Any work it can be, the beginning is most important. Yeah. So now let's move to the second part that may come in our uh, anchoring job, while anchoring for any event in Voice Club. That can be introducing the speaker, and it is there outside also in offline events also. So how to introduce the speaker? So mostly you will have written down the introduction of the speaker on a sheet, or it will be in front of you in a screen, on a screen, like that. So that helps to an extent, but we should not be fully dependent on that, because if we are just we have some bullet points made about the introduction of the speaker, and if you are just staring at it and looking at it, that is a bit like I'll show you. Yeah, so first we'll go to the positives, and then we'll go to the negative. Okay. Yeah, first we have to prepare the introduction. Someone may think, sir, introduction में क्या है, कुछ चीजें लिखी होती है, and we have to just read it out. What's the big deal, sir? No, the it's more than that. It's a lot more than that. So because you're not introducing a common personality. It's not anyone from the street you have picked up and you have told him to give the session on. He's a PhD. He's a MTech. He was the All India rank 4 of his time. Not ordinary accolades, not ordinary achievements. He is surely an extraordinary personality that's going to speak on a wonderful topic to such a big audience. So that's why the introduction becomes more important. If the speaker is not introduced well, or in a nice manner, then the audience will withdraw their interest again, because they will think that the speaker is not worthy of speaking on this topic, or I don't want to hear from such a speaker. So the importance and whatever the achievements are there of the speaker, it should be conveyed very, very effectively. If I am telling you that he was all India rank 4 of his time, then it should be told in such a way. If I tell he was all India rank 4, his PhD, he has done his MS from such and such university, like Boston University. He has done his uh, degree from Massachusetts Institute of Technology. So not like that. It's a big deal to do PhD in such a prestigious university. So you have to tell like that. Okay, so how we tell that? So I'll tell you how we can do that. So let's move ahead and go slow in introduction of the speaker. That's very, very important part, that sometimes we just blurt out things like is this and finish whole thing finished in just 1 minute. So that's not the way to do. So we have to go slow, and in overall also in our way of speech, we should not be so fast that the audience is not able to cope up with our speed. They are not able to understand some things. We are also missing some words in our mouth, and we are also blabbering something out, and we don't know where we are going. The audience also don't know what he is speaking. So not like that. We should go slow, we should be patient, and we should have a careful choice of words. And modulation of voice is very, very important. So that will come also later, so I'll not describe it here. So yeah, handing it over to the speaker. So this is also one important part, that if you introduce the speaker and then we are silent, is it good? No, we should not be silent. We should then hand it over to the speaker. Now, like I can say, so this all things I have introduced, and then I say, now without ado, I take this opportunity to hand it over to such and such person. So like that, you can hand it over, and it's a way of calling someone on the stage also. Like for a award function, there can be many instances that you may have to call someone on the stage, and then you have to hand it over to the person who is receiving award, or anyone like that. So handing it over also is very, very important part. So if you are not going to do that well, then that there seems a disconnect. Okay, so this is the second part. Now the third part. So now we have handed over to the speaker. So the speaker is speaking. Now the program moves towards the ending part of the session. Okay, so now ending the session, how we should end. So ending will mostly have this part, that ending we end the meeting, or there can be a vote of thanks, like we thank the speaker. We mention key points from his talk, so that is very, very important, because yeah, the to uh, to state the important and key points from the speech is very, very important, and for that you have to listen also. Not like that you have spoken and you are doing something else, and you don't hear something, and from your mind, from your speculation, you are speculating something, and you're blurting out something. No, you have to hear, take out some nice points, and then mention at the end, in a sequence, in a proper sequence, what was in the introduction, and then what was the content, and how he ended, and how he proved the main important part of the session, like that. And then you thank the audience. So everything can be done as in a proper flow. Yeah, give me just a minute. Yeah, sorry for that. Sorry for the interruption. Yeah, so in this way you have to thank the speaker, and you have to move towards the ending. So is there any difficulty till yet? Yes, I want to ask. So now we have reached the end of the program. Is there any difficulty you can ask, or you want to me to again highlight on some point? Yes,
Hello, sir.
yes, Mohit.
Sir, sometimes we feel stage fear, sir. How to reduce that?
Sorry, Mohit, I couldn't hear you properly. Can you please
Hello.
repeat? Yes.
Sir. We prepare our speech well, but sometimes we feel stage fear.
Yeah, stage fear. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
to reduce it?
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Mohit, for asking that. So yeah, actually, in beginning there is always stage fear, but as I mentioned, that if your practice is nice, if you are well prepared, then that reduces to some extent. I will not say it vanishes or it completely is gone. That will not happen for sure. Everywhere, everyone has some little nervousness of the uncertainty what may happen. क्या पूछ लेंगे, क्या कोई हंसेगा, क्या क्या बोलेंगे, कोई चप्पल तो मारेगा नहीं. So like that there can be so many things in the back of mind. I like मेरे से लाइन भूल गया, मैं लाइन भूल गया तो क्या बोलना है भूल गया, तो मैं स्पीकर का नाम भूल गया, तो मैं प्रोग्राम का नाम भूल गया, तो या फिर ऐसा many things can happen. So but then we have to again collect ourselves. So the one of the most important part that you don't have to show your mistakes to the audience. Like suppose if you're wrong also, sometimes it's better to run over that mistakes and keep going. Just keep going. If you are spotlighting your mistake that you forgot, kya tha. No, not like that. You just keep moving. So that will save your time also, and yeah, that will not look bad also. Yeah, as Mohit is asking in particular to the stage fear. So yes, my stage fear can be there and will be there. Of course it will be there, but preparation is what matters. If you are well prepared, then the stage fear will decrease for sure. And you have to prepare in all the aspects. You have to prepare for everything, every bit of the program that may happen. And from where we prepare, sir? We prepare by asking somebody. We prepare by going on looking on some things, looking on to some successful speakers, like that. So preparation should be from bona fide sources only, not we just see one video and we say, oh, I'm prepared. No, not like that. You have to be well prepared through all the bits of the program. So yeah, that's one point. And second point is that you have to adapt your mistakes. So there will be mistakes, and there can be mistakes, so you have to adapt and learn from the mistakes and work on that. So if you know what are yeah, because I prepare my speech, but due to stage fear I get into panic mode. Then I make mistake. Yeah, so if you are prepared also, and then also you are getting stage fear, then that is not so much reasonable. Then you are just afraid of someone laughing at you, or you are speaking to such an audience. So always it is very, it's a nice practice that you are not artificial. So don't look artificial or don't talk artificial. So if you are going to artificialities, then it will be very hard, because that you are like kind of acting. You are like an actor. You are not an anchor. You're like an actor. आपको ऐसा है कि आपको एक script दिया है और आपको ये बोलना है. So not like that. You connect with the script, you connect with the audience, and you talk them with just like a friend does, but with dignity. You lose your dignity. You always respect the audience. Never that हाँ तेरे को क्या आता है, not like that. You always have that dignity, but you are not artificial also. So that will decrease your stage fear. And practice and practice and practice, and do more of this part of anchoring. Or if you want to like speak in front of a bigger audience, if you want to speak in front of a mirror, that's the best practice that many people follow. You stand in front of a mirror, you practice your lines, and you see yourself how you are seeing, and you compare yourself with the whoever is your idol in speaking or presenting anything, or any successful person, a successful anchor. So you look, you compare, and you will see, oh, I'm lacking in this point, I'm doing good in this point. So like that. So there are many tips and tricks, like seeing into a mirror and talking. So people prepare for interviews also in such a way, like that. Yes, Mohit, it is clarifying. I'll just mention more points also. Then when you are checked in, you know that, oh, I have prepared well, so I have something in my hand. So I have mentioned the points also here only. So yeah, let's go further. Yeah, so now, so a part of announcements is also there. Sometimes we have to make some announcements also. So this is also very important part of the anchor, that he will have to announce some things, like in a college, suppose in a college event, we have to announce that, oh, this kind of competition that we are going to organize. So all of you are kindly requested to participate in that. So what are the rules of this game or test, like that. So you have to announce something, like you have to announce, कृपया इस दरवाजे से ना जाकर इस दरवाजे से जाइए, यहाँ पे आइए, वहां पे जाइए, यहाँ पे मत खड़े रहिए. And suppose like I am going to give introduction to discover yourself course also. What is this course? Who are the faculty who is going to teach this course? What you will get after doing this course? Why to do this course? What's in it yourself? And lots of things. So announcements basically. So make an impact with your announcements. So how to make nice and powerful announcements? So first point is be precise, sir. Be precise. If you are repeating one line 3 times, 4 times, then it becomes boring. Then no one will listen to your announcement. Like if I am saying, it's very good for your personality if you do this course. And this course is very helpful to build your personality. And your personality will be really, really enhanced by doing this course. And this course is for the personality development and overall development of your personality. You see, I'm just repeating the same line again and again. Just be precise, sir. If you want, if you have some point that you make, you want to make an impact, then you repeat that, but not so that the audience will get fed up of your line. And be clear, be very, very clear. Be clear in your speech and be clear in your words also, in your message also. So like if suppose a message is there, like suppose if I'm telling about some course that is meant for what we can say, a course for personality development. Let's take a course for personality development, and I am telling all the things about communication skills, and only one aspect, or I am totally unaware of that the course, I am aware of the courses of personality development, and I'm talking some gibberish other things only. So that's not good. So we have to be clear in what we have to convey, and we have to convey the message very, very effectively. And we have to interact also sometimes, because we have to, because in announcement we get 5 to 8 minutes, and we have to be very, very sure that our audience has got the message, because this is the only place where I'm going to convey the message. इसके बाद कोई chance नहीं है. So then you can interact also. You can ask the audience, yes, is that clear, or is that fine with all of you, any question like that. So you have to interact also. Interaction is also a very important part of physical events when it's offline. Online you may not have to interact. Yeah, some interaction should be there, otherwise the audience, वो उनके सामने मोबाइल है, and they have the choice. In from one button they can just decide to listen to you or not. Offline some people may think, अरे उठ के जाओ तो कैसा लगेगा. No, here they have just one click and they are off the screen. So so that's very, very important, that you are very, very attractive and you are very, very clear. Okay, now some practical tips, and I'll end with this. This is the last thing I wanted to share. So some practical tips. So do's and don'ts. So now please listen to this carefully. Now practice. Practice is very, very important. If you are not practicing, then there are great chances that you will fail in whatever you are attempting. So practice and practice. Practice with a mirror, practice with yourself, practice it with a friend, record and see it later, and again optimize your speech. So like that. So practice is very, very important. Be confident in your speech and your posture. If your body language, so now in online events, as you can see, you are just able to see this much of part. So you have to be confident in your postures. If your postures are rigid, you are not moving your head, you are not moving your hands, nothing is there, so that shows that you are nervous. If you are not confident in speech, your modulation is not there, you are talking like practice, be confident in your speech and posture, like that. If you are talking, then nobody will want to listen to you. You yourself will not want to listen to somebody who talks like that. So we have to be confident, but not so that you are losing the dignity. So the dignity is also very, very important. So some places you have to be humble. If there is a senior guest who is talking, so you have to smile, you have to be such a positive posture. So that is important. So you have to adapt. So adaptability also again is very, very important. Then attracting the audience. So this is the part that the anchor has to perform very, very, very well. So if you are not able to attract the audience, then the audience will not pay heed to any of the factors. So the speaker may speak so nicely, he may have such a nice message to deliver, but you failed at the job to attract the audience, then the audience will not listen to the speaker. Yeah, so attracting audience is also a very, very important task. Modulation of the voice is very, very important. As now I am talking with you. If I don't raise my voice sometimes and I don't lower it down sometimes, then you will not, if it's monotonous, then it's become boring. But modulation doesn't mean that you are mechanical. Artificially, you are making noises, and artificially you are raising your voice and lowering it down. And don't be mechanical. Just be as natural as possible. So if you are talking for about a very serious topic, then your voice should be grave, like this. And if you're talking about such an exciting announcement, then it should have some pace. It should be with excitement. You should be excited. So that is modulation. So there should not be any mechanic. Not like just a robot. There that the voice is going up and then down and up and down. Not like that. So that is also has to be not natural. And keep a smile throughout. If you are presenting something, if there is no smile, you are morose and you are always too serious and you're staring and you're looking at one point of the screen, that's also not so good. So you have to keep a smile throughout. That's very, very important. And in being mechanical, I just wanted to add one more point also, that we should not read out something. It's a very good practice that you avoid anything in relation to reading, like the sir has done mechanical PhD MTech BTech from this college, and this and blah 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 blah. No, not like that. You have to modulate your voice, and you have to press out the things that are important. So that's very, very important. So don't ever try to just read it out. It's very, very pathetic to just read it out something. That shows that you don't want to present those things at all. So yeah, it's very, very important to that. So being in a well lit room, like this is mostly related to the online events, that your face should not be covered with darkness. Now if you are seeing, there is sufficient light on my face that you all can see. So it shouldn't be that there is a darkness. So you are speaking very well, your body language is also very well, but no one is able to see you. Okay, I am not audible. Yes, Aditya is saying I am not audible. Yes, is it happening with everybody?
No, sir, you are audible.
No, sir.
No, sir, you are audible.
No, sir.
Oh yeah, thank you. Okay. So as I was saying, be in a well lit room. So like now sufficient amount of light is falling on me. So similarly, you have to be in a well lit room. You are talking very nicely and you are making gestures, but nobody is able to see you. What is the use of those gestures and those voice modulation? So be in a well lit room. So these are just basic things that we have to get done with, and then we can focus on our practice and all the things. Okay. So yeah, so these are things. And another some things I want to tell, that do not look away or stare. Like suppose if I'm talking with you and I have a mobile right beside you and I'm checking some message. Yeah. So this is not good practice, right? I'm talking with you, then I'm talking with you. I'm not talking with you, I'm not talking with you. So yeah, and sometimes also, like some people, they have some this habit is not good, that if somebody is speaking and we are not showing interest in that, that's also not good. Like if I call upon someone on this meeting and I have to keep my video off for some reasons, because the person also, the speaker also wants to interact with me, then I have to look at the screen, I have to listen to him. If I don't listen to him, and what kind of attraction I'm trying to make. I'm trying to attract the audience to the speaker, and I myself not like interested in hearing him. So that's not good. So we should not look away or stare at one point, Aisa. So this is also not good, that you are staring at one point. You have to be like in online meetings. You may not understand this fact, but yeah, there's something on the chat, Nachiket, I would like to, yeah, I would like to take that later. So yeah, so you don't look away, or you don't just stare. So that is very, very important. And then it's that well, you should be well dressed and well groomed. You should not be like wearing a t-shirt. That's not good for any kind of event. So you should be well groomed also, like hair and everything shaven, and everything should be good. So according to the event, it should be there. So yeah, it should be, you should be well dressed. The shirt can be pressed and tucked in when it's a physical event like that. Okay. So yeah, and avoid jargons in your speech. So what are the jargons in your speech? Like the words like uh, mm, and so like that. So if you avoid such words, then your speech becomes refined. So that's very very important, and it's totally based on practice. More you practice, more more you'll have the ability to avoid the jargons. So that is very very important. So this distinguishes a neophyte or a beginning anchor from a well established anchor. So avoid, try to avoid jargons, and then respect the audience and speaker. You always say sir to the speaker who is there. Like if I say there is some xyz abc person, then I say that let us welcome Ashish Gupta. Not like that. We should say let us welcome Dr. Ashish Gupta sir. So we have to respect the speaker always and respect the audience also. So that is the part of mentality. So that will take some time, but yeah, always there should be respect for the audience and speaker. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. I took a lot of time, but yeah, there were many things to cover. I went through a little quick. I don't know if all things are clear for you not. So thank you so much. So that was the end from my side. If you have any questions now, you can ask. Before that, I would like to read it out this chat from Nachiket. Nachiket is saying, first make yourself understand clearly what you are going to tell. Then you can talk with confidence and focus. Am I right, sir? Yes, Nachiket, very, very correct. Yeah, first we have to understand ourselves that what I want to convey, and then we have to speak. Yeah, that's the important part we have to understand. Yes, any questions if anyone has, you can raise, you can ask, you
Hello,
can.
sir.
Yes, who is
Sir,
talking?
can you tell us one experience about from? Can you tell us one experience from your side that uh, has made a valuable impact while anchoring, or you have learned something very important that you want to share with us?
Yeah, thank you, Pranav. Thank you so much for asking that. So, as far as speaking in my personal life, from whatever event that I have anchored, that we have to be very, very well connected to the audience and to the topic that we are going to present. So it all like comes down before you come on the stage. So all the hard work that you have to do is before coming onto the stage, because after coming onto the stage there are lots and lots of things that are not in your hand, because how the sound will go, how the sound system will go, how the audience will react, it's not in your hands. So whatever you have to prepare is before coming onto the stage or before presenting. So preparation, as I said, is very 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 important. And from my personal talks or speeches that I've given, that the preparation with uh, with understanding the subject of which you are going to speak is very very important. Like if you are just preparing for the way in which you are going to tell, then that will not create much of an impact. But you have to tell the importance, you have to be genuine, you have to be as genuine as possible. So that is very very important. If you are just faking something, so that's not good. You have to be genuine with the topic you are going to speak. You have to genuine with whatever promises you are making on the stage. So that's very very being genuine and connecting with this connecting with the audience, connecting with the topic, that's very very important. Okay, yes, Pranav, that's that's what I could learn of this till now. So there are many many further things. I am also not much mm, realized in knowledge of this anchoring than all of you. Just had some things to share. Okay, I think it's time. I'm really sorry I took more of 9 minutes more. Yeah, Ganga Prasad sir is there.